One of your first decisions in real estate is going to be where to place your license. Selecting a broker is a very big decision, so I'm going to start this session by sharing with you some ideas and misconceptions in the marketplace about your working relationship with a broker. Now, I'm addressing these comments to those of you that are going to be independent contractors, which is going to be most of you. Now, as an independent contractor, the word independent has an awful lot of meaning. You get to set your own work hours. You get to pay your own taxes. You are, in fact, a business owner. So as an independent contractor, you own your own business, which means you don't work for your broker. You don't work for the brokerage firm. Who do you work for? Think about it for a second. Who do you work for? You work for you. You're actually running your own business. So here's a much better way to look at the broker you put your license with. Your new real estate broker is, I believe, better described as your new business partner. You get to go out and earn some commissions, and then in your independent contractor agreement, you'll share some of those commissions with your broker. Now notice how I phrase that. If you go out and earn a commission of $8,000, total gross commission, how much of that commission did you earn? I believe you earned the whole $8,000. But in your independent contractor agreement, you'll agree to some sort of a commission sharing or commission split with your broker. So I'm trying to give you some empowerment here. Look at it from your point of view. The whole commission was $8,000. Let's say I'm on a 50-50 split with the broker. The broker gets $4,000, I get $4,000. But my attitude is, who's sharing $4,000 with the other person? My attitude is, as an independent contractor, I'm sharing $4,000 with the broker. I've heard some students say, wow, I got my first big deal. If those were the numbers, they said, no, the commission was $8,000, but the broker let me keep $4,000. No. The broker didn't let you keep your share of the commission. You, as a business owner, agreed to share part of the commission you earned with the broker. Now, that's going to come into play later on, because as you understand that you run your own business, and I think you realize you're sharing some of the commissions that you've earned, and I think you earned every nickel of that, but you agreed to share part of it with the broker. I think that leads to some questions and some inquiries that you can make of the broker when you go on a broker interview. Looking at it that way, and now that you understand you run your own business, when you go on broker interviews prior to placing your license somewhere, who do you think, I believe, should do the interviewing? Yes, I think you should do the interviewing. These are legitimate questions to ask your broker, and I've got some more questions coming up in a little bit. But if you're going to place your license with a broker, and you realize you're going to share some of the money you earned with the broker, I think it's fair to ask, what are you going to get in return for the money you're going to share with the broker? And all brokers are prepared for those questions. They all have a recruitment packet. They all have a pamphlet that says why you should choose us. Let's talk about that for a second. Whose decision is it where to put your license? Is it the broker or you? It's your decision. You're going to run your own business. It's not like a regular job interview like you've almost all had, I'm sure, as employees. You go on a real job or a regular job interview, and you interview with the person in the company along with 3 or 4 other people. You're done with your portion of the interview, and you go home, and you sit home and you say, boy, I hope they call me. I hope they pick me. I hope they hire me. You're not getting hired by your broker. Don't think that way anymore. Your broker's your new business partner. They're not going to hire you. In fact, it's your decision if you put your license with them or not. So I think you should take a more professional approach with that professional outlook when you go and have a broker interview. So again, who do you think should do the interviewing? I think you need to do the interviewing. I think you need to ask the broker questions like, why should I put my license here? What do you offer new agents that come in? Do you have training programs? Do you have mentoring programs? Do you have sales training? What sort of things do you as a broker offer that would actually induce me to choose you to be my real estate broker? Now, one of the first things you should ask for when you sit down with a broker on a broker interview is their recruitment packet. It will talk to you about their safety programs, again, their commission splits, and there should be a copy of the independent contractor agreement that broker will ask you to sign should you choose that broker to put your license with. I'm going to recommend every time you go on a broker interview, ask for a copy of the independent contractor agreement that that broker uses. There'll be a lot of good information in there. Plus, you need to get familiar with those types of agreements. So grab a recruitment packet. Make sure you get a copy of the independent contractor agreement that they're going to ask you to sign if you decide to put your license with them. And then that can lead to some other discussions, clearly. So just be aware, those are some of the things you should ask for. Now, once you find a broker that you think you'd like to put your license with, when you go back and have a second broker interview, let's say, there's some legitimate questions you can ask that broker. Now, I want you to remember this phrase. In real estate, and finish this phrase for me. Go ahead. You fill in the last line real quick. Everything in real estate is negotiable. Now, just because things are negotiable doesn't mean you'll be successful in your negotiation attempt. But you have to know everything is negotiable. So let's assume you find a broker that you really think you want to put your license with. You've checked out their market share. You know some of the people in the office. You think they're pretty well run. They have a good opinion of clients in the marketplace. So I'd like to put my license with you, Mr. or Mrs. Broker. You'll have that sit-down discussion, and maybe, if you're comfortable, you could approach it this way and say, you know what, Mr. or Mrs. Broker, I'd like to put my license here, but I've got a couple of questions from the independent contractor agreement. Now, I notice in the agreement it says the commission splits are this, whatever they are. That's all negotiable, all marketplace based. So you look and see what you're comfortable with. And I will share this with you up front about commission splits. Don't begrudge the broker getting a share of the commissions. They provide a lot of services. Otherwise, you can go get your own broker's license and start from scratch. So I think when you pay some money as an agent to your broker in commission splits, when you let them keep part of your commission, think of that as training. It's the ability to be in business. It is your staying power while you are learning the business. It's your initiation, if you will. So brokers are definitely earn and deserve their commissions. My only point here is that most of them are negotiable. And again, it doesn't mean you'll be successful in your negotiation. However, you might approach the broker this way and say, I love the fact that you do everything you do with your safety programs, training programs, mentoring programs, education programs. It's a lot of things I like about the brokerage. However, I notice in the brokerage independent contractor agreement, it says that you start new agents out at a 50-50 split. I'll pull that number out of the air. It's not uncommon, but let's just start there. So you might say to that broker, you know what? That 50-50 split isn't working really well for me, but here's what I'll do. I'm the new agent. I'm telling the potential broker I'm interviewing. I'll agree to put my license here if you'll agree to start me out at a 60-40 split instead of a 50-50 split, or whatever your numbers are. What's the worst thing the broker can say? No. Well, okay, then I'll do 50-50 and I'll and hope to bump that up later on. Or the broker might say, sure, we'll just pay you whatever you want. Because the broker really only has 3 responses to that question, right? Which is, I'll put my license here. If you pay me a larger commission split, will you do that? They can say yes. They can say no. But you'll probably get some form of maybe. If the only 3 responses are yes, no, or maybe, if you get the maybe response, it's going to be something like this. You know, we really like you as a new agent. I might consider paying you a higher commission split than we pay our normal new agents. But the broker's going to ask you this question. Why should I do something different for you? Why are you special? Now, that's 90% sure that's what the broker's going to ask you. So here's my heads up for you in business. If you know that question is going to come to you, my suggestion is you have an answer ready for it. Tell them why you think you're worth more than just a normal new agent. And you need to come up with some answers for that. It might be your background, it might be your age, it might be your professional experience. It might be the fact you came from a catering company where you have 1,000 clients and many of them will inquire with you about real estate. You might bring a lot of stuff to the table that you haven't thought about. So if you ask the broker, can I get a little bit better deal? Don't be surprised if they turn you down, but they're most likely going to say, why should I do something different for you? One of the things you can do to prepare for that question and to prepare a better way to answer it is take a look at one of my other sessions here, which is preparing a business plan. Preparing a business plan is a huge deal. You need to know how you're going to make money in real estate. You need to plan your goals. Most new agents don't come to a broker in the early stage of their career with a business plan. Here's what I get from a lot of new agents for their business plan. I ask them, what is your business plan? What is your plan to make money in real estate? You know what their response is? Well, I'm going to work hard and I'm going to make a lot of money. And I have to dig a little deeper and say, you're going to work hard. What are you going to do? What do you mean work hard? Well, I'm going to do a lot of that real estate stuff. I'm going to do a lot of real estate stuff that we all know about, and then I'm going to earn a lot of money in commissions, and then everything will be good. And that's not really a plan, is it? They haven't thought about it that much. So if you have another few minutes when you're done with this video, and you haven't done so already, take a look at my business planning session. I'll share with you how to set up a basic business plan. Now, the reason I bring it up now is when the broker asks you, why should I pay you a higher commission split? One of your answers could be, I've already got a business plan. I know the market niche I'm going to be in. I know how many prospects I need to see every day. I've actually thought about this. And if you do that, I'll guarantee you, you will set yourself apart from the vast majority of other new agents. Because most new agents don't start out in the business with even an informal or a basic structure of a business plan. Let's just recap real quick about selecting a broker. The key point I want you to take away is your broker is not your boss. You don't work for your broker, you work for yourself. You're selecting a broker to be a new business partner for you in your new venture. And the more things you can do to prepare for that broker interview, to get yourself set up, to set yourself apart from other new agents, and is going to serve you well. So that wraps up selecting a broker. Take a look at the list on the screen. These are my other career prep videos and skills prep videos. Take a look at those. Find some that interest you. They're short ones. Take a look at them. And I wish you great luck in your career.